Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we're going to be making this beautiful cowl neck with open back. Yeah, the back has a different design, and this is a Valentine outfit for my client. So I'm going to show you how to work on your beautiful sleeveless cowl neck gown. Come along guys, let's begin. For this dress I'll be using 2 yards of floral crepe or silk. Okay, so if you have a silk or a crepe fabric, that goes, and silk fabric give it that shiny effect. So this is kind of a floral crepe, but it's a very light floral crepe. So you'll be using your basic pattern, your basic bodice pattern, the front neckline, the back neckline, and there's no need to add that to this pattern. Okay, so just cut the front and back together, and we'll be using it to work on this dress. Don't worry, the neckline is not needed, and the armhole also is not needed for it, okay, because it's sleeveless. You can also come in if you want the sleeveless to be open, like you want the bust to show. I'm going to explain a bit when I'm doing that part. So for this now, what you are going to do is you are going to take your tape and you are going to mark your hip, your waist, and also your chest line. Okay, so if you want to do this as a beginner, just mark those points so that you're able to know where the lines are, but it's not needed if you are used to pattern. Okay, so I just did that so that you'll be able to understand what I'm working with. Now for this dress we are just working on the upper part. The bottom part, it depends on if you want it flay or if you want it not to be flay. So you take your tape and you're going to mark where you want the back to be. Okay, so I came down by 4 inches, and that is where I marked for my back. So you can do the same thing for your front. Why for the front you can come down by 3 inches from the shoulder and mark. Okay, so that's for the front, but for the back you can use the 4 inches. You can also go ahead and use the 3 inches that you mark from the shoulder. Okay, so it depends on your preference or your client preference. If she says she wants it to come down a bit, just go ahead and mark it. Just mark 4 to 5 inches for that part. So I'm going to go ahead now and draw a straight line, and I'm going to connect it. I'm going to be using this for the front and also for the back. Then I can go ahead and take from it if I want to, if I choose to. So it depends on your preference. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the yoke area. So the yoke area is not needed for this dress, but don't throw it away, because when you want to attach the sleeveless, that strap, you'll be needing that yoke area. Now we've gotten this part, you are going to use this to cut out your back. For the back, there's nothing added except the length of your gown. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut the back, and this is the back, and I went ahead and cut the opening. So for the opening, you fold your fabric into two, and from the center back you are going to cut 4 inches or 3 inches from it. Depends on your client. If she wants it to be way open, just ask before you cut, so that the back will not be too wide and your client will be having issue with it. So this is just a quick explanation. I'm just going to draft the back pattern and I'm going to explain it for you. Now you have your fabric this way. From the central front, which is the cut on fold area, you are going to now have the opening. So you take your opening. I use 3 inches for mine. You can use 3 inches, you can use 4 inches. And also before you get that, you have to take your measurement, your tape, and mark that part you want it to be. Okay, how deep you want it to be and how wide you want it to be. Okay, so remember we took out 3 inches. So from the 3 inches, that is where you will start taking the measurement and you mark. So I took it to 15 inches because I want it just a bit above the waist area. So that's what I did, and I used 3 inches for the wideness. So 15 inches for the depth, 3 inches for the wideness. Now this is it. I went ahead and I notched it on the side, So this is how it's going to be. If you don't want to use interfacing for yours, you can go ahead and just stitch it. Okay, if you don't want to use interfacing, but I'm using interfacing for mine, you can go ahead and just hem it and fold, 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 then you hem all the sides that you fold. Can you see it? If you are not using interfacing, you do it this way and it's still going to be neat. But if you are using interfacing, there's no need to do it that way. So if you are not using interface, you can use interfacing for that middle part, while the side you just close it. Okay, so but that's not what I'll be doing for mine. So let's go ahead and do the ones for mine. There was a glitch, so I was not able to show you how I cut it. For the cowl effect, what you are going to do is you are going to take your pattern and you are going to cut from that chest line that you have. Cut it all the way to the armhole area and mark how wide you want the opening to be. So I use 7 inches for mine. So it's a cut slash and spread method. I use 7 inches for mine. You can use 10 inches, you can use 8 inches. It depends on you. When you are done opening it, take the pattern and place it on your fabric. Can you see what I'm doing? So I place mine on the fabric and I stretch it. So the stretching is what gave me 7 inches, right? Now you are now going to trace the armhole area. You are going to trace all the other parts, but this front area, there's no opening. We are not going to open it up. Okay, so it's to that pointed part that we have. Don't open it up. You are going to open to the point that you have there. That is where you will do your opening. There are so many glitches on this video, so I'm just going to explain it. After you are done marking it, you are going to go ahead and cut it out. Can you see what I'm doing? So just go ahead and cut it out. Follow the lines. Okay, follow the lines. When you are done cutting it out, take out the pattern paper and we'll start cutting the interfacing for the cowl effect and also for the back. After cutting it, you go ahead and cut the interfacing. So for the interfacing, just place what you have for the front, the upper part. We are going to cut all the way down to the armhole. Now if you want the armhole to go in a bit, you are going to take your scissors and cut out like half an inch or 1 inch. Doing that is going to give you, it's not going to be fitted on the armhole area. Okay, but if you don't want it that way, just go ahead and do the same thing that I did. Now cut out your interfacing for both the front and the back. Remember, for the back, you are cutting the interfacing the way it is on the back. Okay, that's how you are going to cut it. So this is the interfacing for the front. Before I cut the interfacing for the back, and let me explain how you stitch the front. You see the armhole part, okay, that tip of the armhole, that's where you are going to put your strap. And before you do that, you are going to now cut out your strap. Okay, so now this is my pattern paper. This is it without slashing and spreading it. Okay, now you are going to now add that yoke area to it and mark your strap. Remember, if you add the upper part, this is how it's going to be, right? Now for the strap, what I have for the front is approximately 4 inches, so I'm going to use 8 inches, right? But that's not how it's going to be. You have to check the back to check where it stop at the back. That way you'll be able to attach the right strap to it. But if you have that hook that they use for bra, that is a very good tool to use. You can use that for the strap. Now I'm going to cut at the back interfacing and also cut out the strap. So let's cut out the strap first before we cut at the back interfacing. For the strap, what I did is after cutting it, I used my hemming gum to hem both sides, then stitch it up. Now for the back interfacing, you fold your fabric into two, and we are now going to take our extra piece of fabric and trace it out. So that's what you are going to do for the back. It's the same way you do the front, just that remember the back has an opening, and in order for it to be very neat, you have to cut an interfacing and use for it. So let me explain how I stitch the back. The back interfacing, we'll stitch. After stitching, you'll be having it will just be there, and there's nothing you can do about it except to make it neat, right? So instead of weaving it and just leaving it out like that, what I did was I stitch it up, then I use hemming gum to hem it on the back, so it stays like a casing. That was what I did. I decided to do that way because that's the best for the back. So it's going to be like a casing, and you're going to use your hemming gum, iron it very firmly to the back, okay, so that even when they wash the fabric, it's still going to be there. But if you want to stitch on top of it, you can top stitch on it, but I don't like top stitching on it, so that was why I just did it this way. So after stitching, use your hemming gum to do that. Okay, so this is it after cutting the interfacing. Then we are now going to go ahead and stitch and do exactly what I explained for you for your back. So I'm going to do mine and show you how it looks when I'm done stitching. Also for the back, remember we have that upper part that will be adding the strap. So you are going to cut interfacing for it, and you are going to use it to turn the side of the back. Okay, so you use it to turn that upper part of the back. I went ahead and I cut two pieces, and I'm going to stitch it the way I'm stitching the front. You're going to add the strap to the edge of the back. Can you see? So you place it this way and you'll be adding the strap. Now the strap is going to be, it's not going to be on the edge, on the armhole area, okay, is going to be, can you see that mid part, that center back, that is where the strap is going to be. You can decide that you want to take it out a bit, you can decide that you want to leave it the way I'm doing mine, but that is where I decided to add the strap. Can you see it? So I'm adding two strap. One is going to be on the middle, and that middle is just to tie and give a different style for the back, okay. So then after adding that on the middle, you are going to also add the strap that you'll be adding to both the front and the back. So I'm going to do a video on how to make a strap, if for those who don't know how to do that. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and stitch them up and show you how it is, okay. Now for the upper strap, you are going to take it and pin everything together. So you pin the back interfacing first before we add the upper strap. So we are doing the side strap before the upper strap. Do you get what I'm saying? There's this strap that is at the middle. That is what you do first before you do the other side. That's the other strap. So I'm going to go ahead, stitch it, and show you how it looks. This is the first side of the back after stitching. I've had the side strap before the upper strap, okay. So this is the inner part of the back. Can you see how neat it looks like, right? It's looking so neat and pretty. Now to do the upper back, the upper strap, sorry about that, you are going to place the interfacing, then take your straps and stitch on the tip of it, okay. So it's stitch on both sides, the tip. So you place it inward. If you place it outward, it's going to be something else. So you place it inward and take your interfacing, so it's going to be in between your interfacing and your main fabric. You do this for both the front and the back. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do the front, but let's do the back. So this is how you are going to do your back. Place it in between and top stitch. Then also you are going to now double stitch on the lining piece. For the front, you are going to take the interfacing and the main fabric, that's the front part of the dress, and you'll be putting the strap in between the interfacing and the dress. That's what you'll be doing for the front. So be very careful so that it will not be twisted. And remember, you're putting it on that tip part of the armhole area. That's the part you'll be putting your strap. So you stitch it and stitch it all the way down. So from one armhole, you stitch it all the way down to the other armhole. I'm going to do that and show you how it looks when I'm done stitching it. This is how they look after stitching. Can you see it? So you go ahead and iron it for you to have a neat work. So this is how it's going to be after stitching. So if you want it to be crossed on the back, you have to use a longer strap. Now what you are going to do now is you are going to stitch front side facing front side, and you see what I did on the armhole area. I stitch it from that interfacing all the way down to the hem of the dress. That's what you are going to do for your dress. So I'll stitch it up. I'll show you how it looks on my mannequin. This is the back, guys. I'm done with it, and this is how the back look on the mannequin. I don't understand. My mannequin always kills my dress, but when my clients put them on, they come out better. But anyway, this is how it's going to be on your client, and this is the front area. Can you see it? So the front is now looking like a sweetheart cow neck effect. So you can design that and make it your own style. So this is how it's going to be. Thank you so much, guys, for watching today's tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye, guys.